Hi there, Madison High School folks. I hope that you guys are having a great week. And it is middle of the week on Wednesday, November 5th. I'm really excited to see some of the new ideas and thoughts that you've got going on in regards to poetry. So here is my video on Wednesday. And so let's go over some key concepts for the week. And then that way, if you have any questions, hopefully this will address them. Um, and I'm really loving watching some of your thoughts coalesce in your discussion board posts and also your presentations. So good work. Um, I celebrated my 40th birthday on Monday, and so I've been catching up a little bit because I was trying to take some relaxation time. But I hope you guys had a great Halloween and that you enjoyed the kind of slow pace for the last couple of weeks as we start kind of queuing up. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on for this week's work. All right, I can find the right button. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, so I will be catching up on a lot of your presentations and everything this week, but I just kind of wanted to talk you through how this week looks, and I'm glad that you guys got a chance to go ahead and hop on the boards and start on this. The first thing I want to make sure is really clear is that presentations for this week are Addie, Allie, Brady, and Mary Claire. So I've had some questions about the rhetorical situations presentation. And so let's go ahead and let's just make sure that we're all clear on what the expectations are. So if you go down to the core assignment section right here, I made sure that this was all unblocked so that you could see it. Uh, so as you can see, there are 3 core assignments over the course of the next few weeks before we wrap up 112. And then a requirement for all AB Tech students is to complete an annotated bibliography. So your annotated bibliography is here. And so we will go over that in more detail as the semester draws to a close. But what I think would be very helpful is that if you want to go ahead and start thinking about some topics for it, it might actually make your rhetorical situations presentation a little bit easier. So, as you are working on your rhetorical situations presentation, I've had a few questions like, well, I don't know what my annotated bibliography topic is. That's okay. In fact, I really thoroughly recommend that you dovetail them together so that it makes it a little bit easier on you. So they are measuring 2 different things. So the annotated bibliography is a type of writing where you're really digging in the sources. And then the rhetorical situations presentation is where you're doing a rhetorical analysis of a multimedia artifact. They can be in line with each other and you can actually do the same topic. But the rhetorical situations presentation does not necessarily have to be related to the annotated bibliography topic. However, I do highly recommend that they are related just so that you can make sure that you're not having to do extra research. But if it is stressing you out, please by all means do something different. Okay. So I want to go over the presentation in a little bit more detail so that we can talk through some of this. Now, for those 4 of you who are presenting this week, make sure that you have posted your presentation in 2 different places. One is going to be on the discussion board here, and then the other one is going to be in the actual slot where you need to have your rhetorical situations presentation. If you have it in one, that's okay, but I would definitely make sure that you have it in the discussion board first so that people can see it. So for the rhetorical situations presentation, the big thing that I want you to be thinking about in regards to how to do this is you're going to be thinking about a multimedia artifact and that multimedia artifact that can relate to your annotated bibliography. And you're going to space cat it and talk about the context surrounding it and all of the information rhetorically. So this could be a painting, it could be a video, it could be a TED talk. It's really okay, whatever you want. but you need to record it so that we can all see your presentation. So you are going to be space catting it. And the key here that has been confusing people is that you can have it be on the same topic as your annotated bibliography. However, if that is making it harder than it needs to be, then as long as you pull a multimedia artifact to do a space cat analysis, that's okay. All right, so I look forward to seeing those of you who are presenting this week go. I know that it's been a little bumpy getting people's presentations uploaded. And so as you are uploading them, make sure that they're available for people at the beginning of the week. Okay. All right, so what we're going to be doing this week is we're starting with a little bit of poetry, and you are going to interact on the discussion boards for the people presenting, and then you're going to write a little poem um, that's based on everyday items, a la Baca and a la like our lovely Billy Collins. And then you're going to discuss some poetry on the poetry discussion board. My big thing here is after you've read the poems for this week, is that I want to see your voice and I want to hear your voice. But I do not want you to use AI. AI should only be used as a backbone for understanding. And many of you are using it to help polish your work. And as much as I think that AI can be helpful, if it's taking away your voice and your thinking, then it's a problem. So use my AI tool as a resource. Yeah. Okay, so kind of getting us started on introduction to poetry. Okay, so here is, I want to show you guys a little clip.
Get messy. They feed, they bathe, they play catch. That's why we made a baby wipe big enough to
The
help
deep
protect them.
ad.
Words and language. No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world. Now, see that look in Mr. Pitt's eye? Like 19th century literature has nothing to do with going to business school or medical school, right? Maybe. Mr. Hopkins, you may agree with them, thinking, yes, we should simply study our Mr. Pritchard and learn our rhyme and meter and go quietly about the business of achieving other ambitions. I have a little secret for you. Huddle up. Huddle up! We don't read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race. And the human race is filled with passion. Medicine, law, business, engineering, these are noble pursuits and necessary to sustain life. But poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for. To quote from Whitman, "O me, O life of the questions of these recurring, of the endless trains of the faithless, of cities filled with the foolish, what good amid these, O me, O life?" Answer, that you are here, that life exists and identity, that the powerful play goes on and you may contribute a verse. The powerful play goes on, and you may contribute a verse. Okay. What will your verse be?
It's actually one of my favorite clips. And Dead Poet Society, if you ever have a chance to watch it, it's one of my absolute favorite pieces, and it can be really just heartwarming, and it can really make you think about like what is art. So I have this lovely poem from Mary Oliver. I'm going to read a different poem out loud to you, but please enjoy that one as well. Here's one called "Tired" by Langston Hughes. I'm so tired of waiting, aren't you, for the world to become good and beautiful and kind. Let us take a knife and cut the world in two and see what worms are eating at the rind. So, even if you're not a huge poetry fan, which is totally okay, you can still feel and react and think through, like, critically what some of these poems are trying to say. Now, even if you don't necessarily love it, I want you to try to slough off some of those expectations from elementary and middle school as to what poetry is and how to go about poetry. And instead, I want you to feel it. Feel it, let it impact you, let it hit you, and see how you react to it from there. This is I Am Offering This Poem by Jimmy Santiago Baca, which is one of your readings for this week. I am offering this poem to you since I have nothing else to give. Keep it like a warm coat when winter comes to cover you, or like a pair of thick socks the cold cannot bite through. I love you. I have nothing else to give you, so it is a pot full of yellow corn to warm your belly in winter. It is the scarf for your head to wear over your hair to tie up around your face. I love you. Keep it, treasure this as you would if you were lost, needing direction. In the wilderness, life becomes when mature, and in the corner of the drawer, tucked away, like a cabin or hogan of immense trees, come knocking, and I will answer and give you direction, and let you warm yourself by this fire, rest by this fire, and make you feel safe. I love you. And all I have to give, and all anyone needs to give, and to go on living inside when the world outside no longer cares if you live or die. Remember, I love you. So, what I love about poetry is the ability to express something in so few words that is such a complicated feeling. As E. E. Cummings said, it's like dancing on your own grave. So as you're reading this week and kind of like testing some of these poems out, I want you to remember that poetry, it's scary for some of us because we feel like we don't get it. But it's not about whether or not you get it. It's whether or not you feel it. And so poems don't necessarily have to be beautiful, moralistic, they don't have to rhyme. They just have to be, and they're condensed, right? So like it focuses in on experience over like how you're supposed to behave, and things that are unpleasant it can turn into some sort of emotional or rhetorical power, but it's very concentrated and very specific, and makes it so that a small moment can mean something larger. And there's it's sensuous, right? We have these sensory experiences of comparing somebody's cheek to a rose or vice versa, so that we can understand those complexities and that abstraction. So when you're reading poetry, and I have this lovely clip from Taylor Swift, which I want you to read, but uh, just songs are poetry. Everything that is written and put to rhythm is poetry, even if it's set to music or not. But as you're annotating your poems and as you're thinking through poetry specifically, think about what words are chosen. Think about how the imagery and the figurative language feels. Think about rhythm, shifts, structure, tone, theme, and anything else that resonates with you. And so I would, when we do annotations next week, I didn't want to make you turn in anything else this week, but you should always be annotating your poetry. I want you to make sure that you have really engaged and talked to the text, really thought through the metacognitive nature of how you're thinking about this, and what your reactions are, because they are valid, all of them. All right. So I want to wrap us up here because I know that we are getting toward the end. And so as you are finishing up your discussion board work this week, what I would like you to do is think about what makes a poem unique to you, and what makes poems stand out to you. Why do you like them? Why do you not like them? And then how are you interacting with these poems this week? Like, do you feel stressed, scared about it? Or do you love poetry? Just want to hear all your thoughts. And I look forward to seeing the presentations and your thoughts on poems on the discussion board. And have a great week, everybody.